What happened to Vivian Garrett after she disappeared from her comfortable 4-bedroom home the night of January 1st? For residents of Avitts Landing, a small town that nestles up on the Chesapeake Bay and was once the home of Vivian Garrett, the answer is still unclear. 1 year ago today, Garrett vanished, baffling family members and both local and state police. She said nothing to her children or her husband. Friends say she didn't seem unhappy or panicked. In the media circus that followed in the wake of the investigation, reporters never uncovered a secret lover or a desire to leave her family, but no conclusive physical evidence was ever found. The investigation began on January 4th of the previous year, when a family member alerted police that Garrett had not been seen for 3 days. Her car, a blue 2005 Nissan Altima, was found abandoned in Willow Creek Park 2 days later. The disappearance was considered suspicious, since Garrett was said to be a dedicated mother to her 4 children and had no history of erratic behavior. The woman's husband, biology professor Robert Garrett, was originally arrested a month after her disappearance after a breakdown in his office. In statements to the police, he declared that his wife was gone for good and would never come back. Although Mr. Garrett's responses were often muddled and contradictory, he was released without charge. Avitts Landing police declined to respond to questions, saying, "At this time, we have no information to add to the investigation."
It's almost empty. I bet Merle ate them all.
Ugh! No one's cleaned the microwave in ages. How did I let it get like this?
If only he could remember to pay taxes on time.
Last February, I came downstairs one morning and all the photos were gone from the fridge. The one of Merle eating ice cream on her first birthday. The one of all of us on Halloween 5 years back. The one of Mom and Crab as a puppy. Like they'd never been there.
A family member alerted police that Garrett hadn't been seen in 3 days. Yeah, that was me.
Mom kept an herb garden here. She might have been a terrible cook, but we always had fresh basil for our pasta. And fresh rosemary. And lavender. And mint. Bluebirds aren't very common, but one year we had a bluebird build her nest in our birdhouse. Lady bluebirds aren't blue all over, like the males. They're grayish-orange with little tips of blue on the wings, like gloves. This thing is so stuck it won't budge. I'll need something to oil the latch. WD-40, maybe? According to Greek myth, the sunflower was originally a woman who watched the sun god day in and day out until she turned into a flower. Well, whoever she is, she's losing her petals.
Sometimes I wonder how rich you have to be to eat off your porcelain instead of just putting it in a glass cabinet. Gus needs new shoes every few months, it seems like. His feet are growing faster than dandelions. Hey, Dad.
Oh, Lena. I didn't realize you'd come in here. What's going on?
Do you know where the WD-40 is?
WD-40? Why?
The gate's stuck. It's been sticking for a while, but someone must have slammed it and gotten it jammed.
Oh, I hadn't noticed. You could check the kitchen. It might be in there. Or in the hall closet upstairs. Although it wouldn't surprise me if Gus had it in his room for one of his experiments.
Ah, good places to start the search. Thanks, Dad.
I'll let you get back to work.
Thanks. Oh, before you go, have you seen my phone? I think I lost it yesterday.
Isn't your spare office key still missing too?
Yes, it is, but... Wait, are you trying to say that I misplace things easily?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Ah, well, you may have a point. It's locked for a reason, Lena. That's my space.
I haven't seen Dad sleep here for months. This bed might as well be a part of an IKEA ad for all the use it gets. All Dad really needs is a toothbrush and a razor. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it, we go nowhere. That's one of Dad's favorite Sagan quotes.
There it is.
What's underneath the WD-40?
Damn. I didn't know Dad kept a journal. Maybe there are more parts lying around.
Hard at work in the pursuit of scientific discovery, huh?
I'm being a forensic scientist. That means I solve crimes. It's really cool.
What else is up?
Are you trying to talk to me about Mom?
How did you know?
Logic. I already saw the article in the paper this morning. Dad's been even more distant than usual, and your voice is all funny, like you're not sure about something. And those three things make me think that you want to ask me about Mom.
You're right. Sometimes you amaze me, Gus.
Thanks. What did you want to ask, specifically?
Where do we go from here?
I don't think we can fix all this. The hurt feelings, I mean, without figuring out what happened. I never see Dad anymore. Vi's always angry, and you're so stressed. If we knew what happened, would it hurt as much? Fact. Her car disappeared and was found abandoned somewhere else. Fact. She was sad sometimes. Fact. She left for days at a time and would come back crying. Fact. After Dad, there haven't been any suspects. What I think she killed herself.
Don't say that.
You think I don't realize that people do that when they're not happy? I'm little, and I'm quiet, and sometimes people forget about me. But you know I'm not dumb.
No, of course you're not dumb. I just don't want you to face stuff you're not ready for.
I don't want to face it either, but I still think about it.
I do too, sometimes.
You're the most like her, you know, out of all of us.
She loved us. She was always thinking about whether we were happy and safe no matter what.
Yeah, I remember. You know the painting of hers downstairs? The one she did herself? I've stared at it for hours so that it's in my brain. So that I'll never forget what she looked like.
You don't have to hold on to her that way. Just keep your memories of her. Those matter more anyway.
But those are starting to fade away too. Like how her voice was a little raspy in the mornings. And the way she'd hum songs I never recognized when she was washing dishes. I can't always remember them perfectly.
I know what you mean. I feel that way too. All the time.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about a diary of Dad's floating around here, would you?
Diary? What? No.
Are you sure about that?
No.
So you're not sure?
No.
So that means you do know something.
Maybe. Okay. Look under my bed. There are some pages there. You can read them, but give them back when you're done.
Where did you find them?
They were in Dad's briefcase. And they looked interesting, so I took them. Are you going to tell him?
No, of course not.
Okay. Good. He'd be so mad at me.
Yeah, probably. But don't worry. I have no desire to get you or me into that kind of trouble. Thanks for telling me, Gus. I appreciate it.
No problem. Amateur detectives always help each other out, right?
I'll talk to you in a little bit.
There it is. That should do it.
The map is useful for tourists, I guess, but most people who are from here know to orient themselves using the bay, like a liquid compass. They hold camps here in the spring and summer so that kids can learn about food chains and wildlife preservation. Kids of volunteers got to go for half the regular price, so we all went every summer until we aged out. Mom would pack us a lunch, and we'd eat it here with all the other kids. Always the same thing, an apple, a clementine, and a PB&J. She was creative with plenty of stuff, but not packed lunches. It was mostly my mom's friend Sasha who got this wall put up in honor of Mom, but so many people have added stuff to it. You usually see memorials for people who have died, but
you're not supposed to be out here by yourself.
I was bored, though. No one wanted to do anything with me.
You could have asked me. I would have played with you.
Except you're the worst at soccer. You can't even kick the ball right.
I won't disagree with you there.
Whatever. I kinda like practicing by myself anyway. Then I can do whatever I want.
As long as you're safe practicing by yourself. So, are you ready for your next swim meet?
Duh! We're gonna kick the other team's butts! I'm gonna be and then they'll be like, After all, they don't call me Sharknado for nothing.
They call you Sharknado?
Yeah, it's my team nickname. I picked it after that movie. You know, the one with the sharks and a tornado.
Who let you watch Sharknado?
Vi did, while she was babysitting once. Vi lets me watch all the cool movies, like The Sixth Sense, which Vi says was made by Mr. M.
You know, I used to be just as good as you on the swim team.
Yeah, I've seen your ribbons and stuff. How come you don't do swim team anymore?
Oh, swim team was never something I wanted to do forever. I was just a really great swimmer.
I want to do it forever, though. I like getting in the water. It feels all slippery on my skin.
Maybe you'll keep thinking that way, and maybe you'll change your mind as you get older. Who knows?
Oh, okay. Is it like how you used to be able to hear birds talking, but now you can't?
Maybe. That might have just been my imagination, or maybe I actually heard them speaking. There are so many things I'm still not sure of anymore. What do they tell you?
Little things, mostly. Chickadees talk about the weather, whether it's going to rain or not. Ducks talk about people food and whether anyone will feed them, and where they'll get it. Sometimes I hear owls at night. The owls go hoo hoo, but what they're really talking about is hunting. Seeing a mouse and swooping down, and bam! They make it sound so yummy.
Yes. I remember. Do you remember what today is?
Today? It's the first day of the new year. Why? Did I have chores to do today?
No, I'm not talking about chores. Do you remember what happened a year ago?
Yeah.
So, you know what today is?
Yeah. Not having a mom anymore is weird.
What do you think happened to her? Merle?
The birds say things. Maybe she...
Maybe she what?
Sometimes I see her. By the shore. Here, at the park.
I believe you.
Thanks.
Explain to me what you mean.
You know how there are always swans swimming near the beach here? Well, she's one of them.
You mean she's actually a swan?
Yup.
I got that sense too. They look like her. The swans, I mean.
Yes, they're so graceful and they have such pretty necks. I'm glad you understand.
I am too. Do you think she'll ever come back?
Duh.
I want to believe she'll come back too.
Then just believe it. I do.
I'm going to go, okay? But I'll come talk to you again later.